So hi, let's talk about the trigonometric ratios of special angles. Okay, so what are those special angles? We have 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. These are called the special angles because they lie in the first quadrant sa unit circle. So let me just add it here, the unit circle. Okay, this is the removed. This is the unit circle. Okay, this is the unit circle. We have the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. Now let's look at here. The 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees lies in the first quadrant, so they are called special angles. Now let's get back here. Now each pair of these angles, when we make a pair of them, they make 90 degrees. That is why they are complementary to each other. Here, 0 plus 90, that is 90 degrees. 30 plus 60, that is also 90 degrees. And if we're gonna add 45 degrees by itself, we will have the result 90 degrees also. So they are complementary angles, or they complement to each other. Now let's review on how to use the so, ka, to, wa. Suppose I have here triangle. Okay, suppose I have here triangle A, B, C, and this is 3, this is 6, and this is 9. No? Assume that from A to B, the measure is 3. From B to C, the measure is 6. And from A to C, the measure is 9. Now let's try to look for the ratio of the sine of A, the cosine of A, and the tangent of A. Let's look for the ratios. No? So here, sine, that is so. The sine of A is equal to the opposite side of A with respect to angle A. Okay, with respect to angle A, we will get its sine. So the sine of A is equal to the opposite side, which is 6, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 9. So we have 6 over 9, or that can be reduced. Divide both sides by 3, so we have 2 over 3. Next, cosine of A, ka. The cosine of A is just equal to the adjacent side, ang katapat na side ni A, which is 3, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 9. So we have 3 over 9. That can also be reduced. 3 over 9, that is 1/3. Now let's have tangent of A. So tangent of A, towa. Tangent of A is just equal to the opposite side of A, which is 6, divided by the adjacent side, which is 3. So we have 6 over 3, that is 2. Now we have its ratios. So let's find, for example, the sine of the sine of 30 degrees, the cosine of 30 degrees, and the tangent of 30 degrees. Now I want you to be familiar with the special right triangles. Diba naatay 30, 60, 90 special right triangles, and the 45, 90 degrees triangles, no? So these angles, if we're gonna add them, the sum would be 180. So they are complementary, supplementary, no? So 30 plus 60, that's 90, plus 90, that is 180. Here 45 plus 45, that's 90, plus this one 90, they also make 180. So in this case, we're gonna look for the ratio of 30 degrees, cosine of 30 degrees, and the tangent of 30 degrees. Now I want you to be familiar with the special right triangles. Now this is a 30-60 degree triangle. Okay, we have here the right angle. This is 60 degrees, and this is 30 degrees. Now the line or the side across 60 degrees is square root of 3. The side across the 30 degrees is 1, and the side across the 90 degrees is, across the right angle, is 2. Now let's get the ratio of, or the value the corresponding ratio of the sine of 30 degrees, cosine of 30 degrees, and tangent of 30 degrees. Don't forget the so, ka, and toa. Alright? So let's start with the sine of 30 degrees. So this is here. Dire ang atong point or degree. An angle nato, that's 30 degrees. So the sine of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite side, 1, divided by the hypotenuse, 2. So this is 1/2. Next, the cosine of 30 degrees, ka. The cosine of 30 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, square root of 3, divided by the hypotenuse, 2. So we have square root of 3 over 2. And we have the tangent of 30 degrees, toa. So the tangent of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite side, that is 1, divided by the adjacent side, that is square root of 3. So here it's 1 over square root of 3. Now note that we can rationalize that, no? So 1 over square root of 3, irrationalize na nato. 1 over square root of 3. So we will multiply both the numerator and the denominator by square root of 3. Square root of 3. 1 times square root of 3, that is square root of 3. All over square root of 3 times square root of 3, that's square root of 9. Copy sa numerator, square root of 3 divided by square root of 9. Now we all know that the square root of 9 is 3, no? So our answer, the final answer for the tangent of 30 degrees is square root of 3 over 3. Now let's get the sine. Alright, sine of 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Cosine of 60 degrees. And the tangent of 60 degrees. Okay? Sine of 60 degrees. So, dari kita kan 60 degrees. Sine of 60 degrees is equal to the opposite side, square root of 3, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 2. That is square root of 3 over 2. Next, cosine of 60 degrees. Cosine of 60 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, square root of 3, okay, adjacent side rather, here it's 1. Cosine of 60 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, which is 1, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 2. So we have 1/2. And here, for the tangent of 60 degrees, we have TOA. Tangent of 60 degrees is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. We have square root of 3 over 1, or simply square root of 3. Okay? Now let's get the sine of 45 degrees, the cosine of 45 degrees, and the tangent of 45 degrees. Okay? Now for the 45 degrees, that is, okay, refer to this illustration here. Okay, we have here, this is 45 degrees. The same here, 45 degrees ang iyahang angle, and we have the right angle, which is 90 degrees. Now, the sides across the 45 degrees are 1 and 1, while the side across the 90 degrees is square root of 2. No? This is for the 45, 90 degrees angle. Lahi ra pod tong sa 30, 60, 90 degrees angle, or triangle rather. Okay, so let's start looking for the sine of 45 degrees. So that is opposite over hypotenuse. The sine of 45 degrees here is equal to the opposite side, which is 1, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 2. So that is 1 over square root of 2. Now, the same sa ato gihimo kanina, sa 1 over square root of 3, irrationalize pod nato si 1 over square root of 2. No? 1 over square root of 2, we multiply that with square root of 2. So 1 times square root of 2, that is square root of 2, over 2 square root of 2 times square root of 2, that is square root of 4. So the numerator, copy square root of 2, and then the denominator, square root of 4, that is 2. So we have our final answer for the sine of 45 degrees is square root of 2 over 2. Okay, let me just replace that here. So this is square root of 2 over 2. Next, cosine of 45, that is cosine of 45 degrees, that's ka. So cosine of 45 degrees is equal to the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse, that is 1 over square root of 2. So they have the same value of sa sine of 45 degrees. So the same lang gihapon, square root of 2 over 2. Next, the tangent of 45 degrees, TOA. So tangent of 45 degrees is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. That's 1 over 1, or simply 1. Now let's put all these values together and make a table. So theta, sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta. So what are those special angles again? We have 0 degrees, 30 degrees. Okay, that's degree. Okay, i-out na pagkasuyat for 30 degrees. 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and the 90 degrees. No? So, in plotting all their corresponding values, mao lang tong atong gamiton kaganina, kaning atong gipang solve. Now, here, sine of 0, that is 0. Cosine of 0, that's 1. Tangent of 0 degrees, that is also 0. Next, sine of 30 degrees, that is 1/2. Cosine of 30 degrees, that's square root of 3 over 2. Next, tangent of 30 degrees, that is square root of 3 over 3. Now let's go to 45 degrees. Sine of 45 degrees, that's square root of 2 over 2. Cosine of 45 degrees, the same answer, square root of 2 over 2. Tangent of 45 degrees, that is 1. Now let's go to 60 degrees. So yat tayo ni pagtarong. 60 degrees. Sine of 60 degrees, that's square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of 60 degrees, that is 1/2. And tangent of 60 degrees, that's square root of 3. Now, cosine of 90 degrees, it's 1. Cosine of 90 degrees, that's 0. Tangent of 90 degrees, that is undefined. Okay? So, as you have noticed here, take a look at this, a sine from 0 up to 1. So, it is increasing. No? As the degrees goes up, or the value of the angle gets bigger, its corresponding ratio gets bigger also from 0 to 1. While here, sa cosine, we have here cosine. Ay, tarungon ta pag drawing. Never mind. Here, sa cosine, alright, look at this. It's opposite to the sine, no? Kay magkadako ang atong angle, magkagamay ang adya corresponding na ratio for the cosine, no? That's 1 down to 0. Alright, now let's have an example. Suppose we have triangle here, a right angle triangle. This is our right angle, this is x, and we have 40 degrees angle here. And this is 12. Now, how do we know kung asa kang so, asa kang ka, o asa kang towa ang ato gamiton? That is by first identifying the given na atay 12. 12 here is ang kaatbang na right angle. So it means this is the hypotenuse. Next, we have our angle, 40 degrees, and this side is opposite to 40 degrees. So we have x as the opposite side. Now let's look for the value of x. Umaya to gamiton to find the value of x. Diba? We have hypotenuse and we have opposite. So let's look at here, kang so, kang ka, o kang towa, kung asa sa ila ang naay opposite and hypotenuse. So that is so, no? So, sine theta is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. Alright, our theta here, or the degree, is 40 degrees. So we will write 40 degrees here. The opposite side, that is x. Substitute the hypotenuse, that is here 12. So let us substitute 12. Okay, Now, our aim here is to get the value of x, but naa may denominator sa ubos, so tangdalo na to si 12. That is by multiplying both sides by 12. Okay? So, multiply to diri at 12, and diri apod sa right, 12. So, we have 12 sine of 40 degrees equals, this is 1, so x over 1, that is just equal to 1. That is just equal to 1. Okay? So, siyat na to arkan. X over 1 rather is just equal to x. Okay, so this is x. Now, let's get the value of sine of 40 degrees, no? This is copy si 12. Sine of 40 degrees is equal to 0.643 equals x. Now, 12 times 0.6.3, that is 7.7. This is not the exact value. We are just approximating, so we will use the sign approximation only. Kanang murag nag-wave na equal sign. No? Approximately 7.7. So that's the answer. Okay? Now here, what if we are about to look for the angle? If we have here triangle, this is our right angle and this is the missing angle. So pila may measurement ana niya given this side is 200 and given the other side is 300. Now the first step is to identify uma na ratio ang gamiton. Is it so? Is it ka? Or is it towa? Now let's identify the given. With respect to angle x, we have the adjacent side which is 200. No? And with respect to angle x, we also have the opposite side which is 300. Now, we have adjacent and opposite. Haman sa kang so, kang ka, ug kang towa ang naay adjacent ug opposite. Okay, see? Towa. So, we will be using towa. The tangent theta is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now, tangent theta here, or the degree, is unknown. So, let's label that as x is equal to the opposite side, that's 300, and then we have this adjacent side that is 200. So, unsaon naman na. Now, remember in our discussion na pwede na to, pag ingani gani ang itsura, tangent theta equals a specific value, then we can rewrite that one as tangent inverse times the value will give us the degree or the value of the theta. So here, diba kanisiya parehas ra na forma kanisiya, diba? So we can use the same concept or the same idea. Alright, now from tangent x equals 300 over 200, so we can rewrite that one as tangent inverse of 300 or extra kan of 300 over 200 is equal to what? Use your scientific calculator. Okay, that's approximately 56.3 or 30 degrees. So it means kanidi ICX ang each value is 56.30 degrees. Okay? If you have questions, comment that down or go to our group page at tumangutana dili mag-PM sa messenger kay di jaw nako ma-entertain. Okay, thank you and goodbye.